Hey guys, I'm Amy. So you're thinking about learning Japanese? Or you're just wondering how I learn Japanese? Well, I'm going to put this out there before we even start talking about it. I didn't take any classes. I just learned the language by myself. Is it perfect? No. Can I understand difficult phrases? Not really. Can I survive in Japan with the limited knowledge I have of the language? Yes. Do I regret not taking any classes? No. Personally, I learn better outside a classroom environment. So, the things I'm about to share are just my tips. What worked for me. And if you find them interesting or you think that it might help you in your learning of Japanese or any language really, by all means give it a go. But don't quit your lessons. If a learning environment like that helps you, stick with it. Watching anime. So my exposure to Japanese started from a very young age. When I was 4-5 years old maybe. My mom used to rent Japanese anime for me. And they're all spoken in Japanese, obviously, with Chinese subtitles. But I was too young to read any of them. So basically I just watched without fully understanding it. But eventually I picked up something. It's like body language. Fun fact, Doraemon is my favorite character. Because I love dorayaki. Listening to J-pop. So exactly 10 years ago, I became a huge fan of Namie Amuro, or Amuro Namie, because we Asians put our surname before our first. Anyways, back then I didn't understand the lyrics, but the way she sang it just makes it so emotional. That's still on my top 10 favorite songs by her. So because of her songs, I started searching for lyrics online in both English and Japanese. So I'd listen to the songs with both lyrics side by side and learn the meanings. The more I did this, the more I picked up the grammar. And because I was learning the language from the lyrics of the songs, I later went online to find some pictures or mini lessons of hiragana, katakana, and kanji. This helped me tremendously in not relying on romaji. I personally think that romaji can ruin a language, but that's just my opinion. So I started off learning hiragana. I would write them down and say them out loud as I go, so on and so forth for katakana as well. I know what you guys might be thinking. You're just learning the hard way. If you want to put it that way, I don't mind. As long as it worked for me, say whatever you want. Back to learning from the lyrics. Once I got a grip on hiragana and katakana, I started typing the lyrics out. And that's when I learned some kanji and expanded my knowledge a bit more. Like I expanded my range of Japanese music, artists, bands. Fun fact, Arashi is my favorite Japanese group/band. But Amuro Namie is still my top favorite. And I still can't believe that she's retiring. This is really comfortable. Later on, I grew interested in Japanese variety shows and TV dramas as well. Luckily, at the time, there were many videos online with subtitles. I know those might be illegal because of some copyright infringement, but
2 very boring minutes later.
There are many pros in watching Japanese variety shows and TV dramas. For example, you'll pick up some Japanese humor from variety shows. And you'll also learn some Japanese culture from TV dramas. How formal and informal language is used in different situations, and so on. Lastly is reading. Trust me, it's not boring. I basically started off with manga, comic books. Again, these are what worked for me. Because I loved manga as a child, so why not find something that I like, but in another language? This is when if you ditch romaji earlier on really helped. Because eventually you have to read hiragana, katakana, and or kanji. Fun fact, when I was younger, my mom bought Chinese comic books for me, so I can learn some Chinese characters. It worked, sort of. There are so many books out there that are bilingual, meaning that one side of the page is in Japanese and the other side of the page is in English. I read one of those, and it was pretty fun. Again, this is not the most optimal way of learning. I'm just sharing what work for me. Give it a try. I mean, you might find it fun and actually make some progress. Or you might not. We're all different, so what worked for me might not work for you. Just keep that in mind. That's it, guys. That's how I learn Japanese. And I'll most likely be using these tips when I learn a new language in the future. ご視聴ありがとうございました。高評価、コメント、シェア、チャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。SNS フォローしてください。じゃあ、またね。Peace. I really hope I said those right. Anyways, peace.